Hello and welcome to another exciting edition of Best MTG Decks Ever. I'm your host, Joseph, and today I have the pleasure of bringing you a really cool deck. It's all about stealing our opponent's creatures, attacking them with them, and then sacking them and getting draw triggers, and repeating that over and over and over and over again until we have a way to close out the game. Let's take a look at this deck. So we have Commander Killer Garna. Let's take a look at the Commander. She is Garna, Bloodfist of Keld, 1 colorless, 1 black, 2 red, and she reads, whenever another creature you control dies, draw a card if it was attacking. Otherwise, Garna Bloodfist of Keld deals 1 damage to each opponent. So, the most important part that we want here is whenever another creature you control dies, draw a card if it was attacking, because we're going to set up something very specific with this. We want Garna on the battlefield, then we want to cast something like Act of Treason, 2 colorless, 1 red, gain control of target creature until end of turn, untap that creature, it gains haste until end of turn. So we cast that, we take control of one of our opponent's commanders, comes over, we attack with it, and then we would use something like Vampiric Rites to then tap 1 colorless, 1 black. We would sacrifice that creature, we would gain 1 life and draw a card, and then we would also draw another card because our commander allows us to draw the card from the creature dying while it was attacked. It's important to note that we would use Vampiric Rites in response to the resolution of attack damage, and so we get the damage off, we get the sack, we draw 2 cards, we gain 1 life, we've removed a creature, we've done a lot of stuff. So the way I've split this deck up is basically we've got a ton of ramp, we've got sacrifice outlets, we've got theft, and then we've got some payoff stuff. Let's take a look at the theft stuff first. We've got cards that do exactly what we just talked about, like Act of Treason. You cast it, you gain control of target creature until end of turn, gains haste, yada yada yada. Then we've got a few oddities in here. This one's very interesting. The Beast, Deathless Prince. When you cast a spell, gain control of target creature until end of turn, untap it, it gains menace and haste until end of turn. The Beast enters the battlefield tapped with 6 stun counters on it, and if it would become untapped, remove a stun counter from it instead. Whenever a creature deals combat damage to its owner, untap the Beast and draw a card. So let's say that you had the commander on the battlefield, you cast the Beast, that would allow you to gain control of somebody. We attack the opponent who we stole it from, and because we want to do damage to them, whenever a creature deals combat damage to its owner, untap the Beast and draw a card. And then let's say that our sack outlet was Village Rites. So we cast Beast, steal their creature card, attack them with it, do damage, draw a card from that, cast Village Rites, sack that creature, draw 2 cards. So now we're up to 3 cards that we drew. And then our commander allows us to draw a 4th card. So that's draw 4, kill the opponent's creature, and that's just a lot of value. It's really going to make a lot of friends. We've got some big payoffs. Something like Mass Mutiny, 3 colorless, 2 red. For each opponent, gain control of up to 1 target creature that player controls until end of turn. Untap those creatures, they gain haste until end of turn. So this one costs a lot of mana, and for something like this, you would want to make sure that you had some sort of a permanent sack outlet, like a Viscera Seer, so that you could sacrifice all those creatures for free, or maybe even like a Phyrexian Altar, so that you could sacrifice them and get more mana. Now, one thing to note about something like Phyrexian Altar, if you want to use this mana for something that's not an instant spell, you're going to have to forego the draw that you would get from Garna, and then you would sacrifice them after combat, because the mana will drain from your mana pool at the end of combat if you do it during combat. So it really just depends. Would you need the mana, or do you want the draw effect? And then we have like a real big finisher, Insurrection, untap all creatures, gain control of them until end of turn. They gain haste until end of turn. You're getting everyone's creatures, doing a ton of damage. You'll be able to, however you're sacrificing stuff, you're going to get a lot of sacrifice triggers. And you'll get a ton of draw off this, because the way this reads is whenever another creature you control dies, draw a card if it was attacking. So for each creature that dies while it was attacking, you're going to get to draw a card. So you potentially have tons of card draw, tons of ways to gain value from that. It's probably game over at that point for our opponents. We are running 3 tutors. Yeah, all of our ramp is just nothing but mana rocks. And then we've got this little payoff section. So it's like, as we've been doing what this deck was built to do, stealing creatures, sacking them, drawing a bunch of cards, repeating over and over and over again, things are going to get to the point to where there's going to be cards in people's graveyards, or we're just going to be sacrificing a lot of creatures, and there's just going to be a lot of stuff happening. So we've got things like Grim Haruspex, which reads, whenever another non-token creature you control dies, draw a card. So this is just another draw outlet to help us refill our hand to continue the agenda. Morbid Opportunist is just going to be more card draw. Leave that out of there. Mizzix's Mastery is going to be another finisher. So say that, we're getting up in turns. We're like around turn 8. We've done quite a few theft spells and stuff where we've got them in our graveyard, or if someone's been milling us, our graveyard will be nice and hefty. And then we would cast Mizzix's Mastery for its Overlord, get all of those theft spells, and steal everyone's creatures, or as much as we can, attack everybody, do a bunch of damage, sack them all, cast cards from our hands, draw a bunch of cards, and then just keep this engine going. Likewise, the same with Rise of the Dark Realms. If there's a lot of creatures in people's graveyards, we can cast this to put all creature cards from all graveyards onto the battlefield under our control. Attack, 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 attack. And then, of course, we've got a bunch of lands. I hope you guys enjoyed the deck and enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. Hello and welcome to another exciting edition of Best MTG Decks Ever. I'm your host.
Are you recording?
It's recording right now. It's totally recording. But see, so this is the thing with recording. It doesn't matter. I can just keep doing it over and over and over again.